Good morning, everyone. My name is Jaap. I'm from the Netherlands. I've been involved with the Wireshark project for, 20 years or so. I've been pestering Gerald with all kinds of fixes for his little program, and eventually said, you know what, don't bother me, do it yourself. So since then, I've been fixing all kinds of different things, adding new features, mainly working on dissector code, but also on other stuff. And if you want to know more about the dissector code and writing dissectors, I've got a session later this event, which you can attend, which I'll try to explain you how that's done.
Hello, I am Eugène from France. I joined the team 1 year ago and I like to fix bugs. That's all.
Okay, hi, I'm Stig from Norway. Been around for maybe 18 years, bugging all of these other guys. Doing fixes, I think, almost everywhere in Wireshark eventually. I started out doing military stuff, military protocols. Now I changed to Internet of Things, doing MQTT co-op and such, doing cellular IoT. So I touch all the protocols being involved in cellular IoT products, which is everything from SIM communication to the LTE product, communication and everything between, so it's a lot of different protocols involved.
Hi everybody, Pascal from France. I've been in the cellular and telecom industry for 25 years now, and a Wireshark core developer since 13 years, I think.
Hi, I'm Uli from Germany. I came to Wireshark as a developer fixing bugs which annoyed me, and not so active at the moment due to time limitations.
I'm Saka, also from the Netherlands. Started using Wireshark in the last century, and does that make you feel old? I started developing for Wireshark in 2006. Not so active anymore in developments. A couple of patches in the past couple of years, but I'm very active in the support on ask.wireshark.org and on Discord, and involved in SharkFest a lot. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Anders Broman. I've been closer. Okay, Anders Broman. I've been with the project since 2003, so that's 22 years, I think. Retired from Ericsson after 44 years with Ericsson. Also mostly worked on cellular protocols, but also anything that worked with fancy. Nowadays, I mostly review MRs, not doing that much features anymore.
And my name is Joachim. I'm also from Sweden and also from Ericsson. But I'm still working there, and my focus is a lot of 4G, 5G, and now I'm looking at 6G, so soon you will have it in your phone.
I am Tomasz. I'm from Poland, and in 2013 I was working on my Master of Science thesis. And you could have seen this name on the keynote earlier. It's USB pickup.
Yep.
So I'm mostly working on USB. I also not only worked on the USB pickup, but also improved OpenVisual, which lets you capture on the actual wire what is happening. And I wrote a few dissectors that are quite different from the typical network dissectors, but you can for sure use Wireshark engine to solve all the problems that are happening.
Yeah, and my name, as I already mentioned, is Ron Knall from Austria. Have been active software developer for, sadly, coming up nearly 30 years. And been with the Wireshark team, I think, since 2016, 2013, first submission, something like that. Mostly focusing on OT, IT in the past. Currently working for one of the sponsors here, Profitab. No plug, just being open about it. And also in more or less normal code development, but helping out Sherry and Joel running the SharkFest and all the marketing stuff behind it, also with Angelo together, and more on the let's say management, marketing, PR side of things. I want to mention something else because a few of us here on stage are also part of a different group. And we had our first election this year for the WTSC, which is the Wireshark Technical Steering Committee. As you might know, we are a foundation, and as part of this foundation, there exists a board that's called the WTSC. Gerald is currently the lead of the board, or the chairman of the board. Thank you. And a few of us got re-elected this year. I'll urge you, if you're interested in how the politics and all the stuff behind it works, to visit Uli's talk on Friday about how the election was run. And if you are interested in what we do, we post our notes regularly on various sites, and we are very open about what we do, so just come to us and talk to us. The main focus of the board is the steering of the project on a technical level, although more or less it's a monthly, let's meet our friends kind of session, and very fun and entertaining most of the time. But yeah, if you're interested in that, come talk to us on Friday as well. I want to leave you with one thing because we didn't mention it, but we mentioned it in passing. Uli kind of took my quote there. We fix bugs that annoy us, and if you have bugs that annoy you, you have to annoy us so that we fix bugs that annoy you. The one place to do that is the GitLab issue list. Please, please, if you have bugs, don't complain about them to your coworkers. Complain about them in an issue. And there is a good chance that somebody will pick it up, especially if it's well written and if you have a PCAP that shows the bug. If you just say, well, this sucks, not as good as a chance. But if you can, we can engage in a conversation, and we're very happy to fix stuff that annoys you.
Or come to us in the developers then. Yeah. Direct in our face complaint.
Want to talk about the add
and we'll get there. I did notice that as each person went down, they mentioned that they fixed bugs in Wireshark and ultimately became a core developer. And I realized that, well, if they're fixing bugs, then it's somebody's job to make the bugs, and apparently that's mine. No, but what Roland was talking about with the steering committee and the elections, that was a significant milestone for Wireshark and for the community. We set up the foundation so that Wireshark and its community could be self-sufficient and govern itself and kind of be able to sustain in the future, no matter what might happen in the future. And seeing everybody come together and elect project leadership was a big milestone, and I didn't expect it to, but once it happened, it hit me pretty hard, and I was very happy when that happened. So thank you for all your work on that, especially Uli and Eugene. You two did a great job with that, and Darius, who is not here, but excellent job on that. But since the developers are here, we should probably talk about development-related stuff. And we were trying to figure out what to talk about when we're up on stage. And maybe the big thing that overshadows everything in IT right now is AI. We've had a few questions about AI over the years, and people have kind of done work with taking the output of Wireshark and putting it into AI, and so maybe hoping that AI can answer questions about a particular protocol or a particular capture and stuff like that. From our perspective, that's a really useful thing and potentially will be really useful in the future. But the thing that we experience right now today with AI is the fact that people are submitting issues and code that's AI generated. And I don't know if anybody has. Go ahead.
I think we all feel strongly in one way or another about AI-generated code. In the general consensus would be, if you submit a bug that has been generated with AI, you should at least have, I'm sorry if I'm being very blunt with the sentence, but you should have the decency of having tried the bug yourself with a non-AI route. Because even if AI finds something that might not look right, it might be a use case that's either very, very esoterical, or simply you have to do a lot of stuff wrong to get to that point. That's not being said it's not a bug, but it's a different kind of severity level depending on if it's something that you can easily reproduce. It's very hard to reproduce bugs that have been created by AI, especially if AI starts to generate their own PCAPs. Because, yeah, you can always manufacture stuff to make stuff go wrong. That's the one thing to say. The second thing to say, we are open to submitting any kind of codes. I'm a heavy AI user myself, so we're not against AI in general. But if you do submit code with AI, please mark it as such, so that we know, okay, this is AI generated. Doesn't mean that we say this is bad or this is worse code, but it gives us a better indication of where to look at. And also in our bylines, it states that if you submit stuff, you have to make sure that you have the legal rights to submit that kind of information. That goes especially for AI. So if you submit code that uses proprietary copyright information to generate some kind of parser or whatever, that's on you. That's not on us. I just wanted to mention it to you. So these things need to be kept in mind, otherwise go nuts. It's getting better. Personally, I would go with Claude if anyone wants a recommendation for coding, but go nuts, have fun. Just, okay, when we are on recommendation, don't use Gemini. Please don't. And while we're on that subject, also don't use Copilot. Really. Great. You can do a better job with Wikipedia and just copy-paste it. Yeah, but that's my general thinking. And one more consideration, sorry if I hug here the microphone, because I'm looking towards Sake and what he mentioned that he started analysis in the last century. A lot of stuff that network analysts have to do and a lot of stuff that packet analysts have to do has nothing to do with what they're seeing in Wireshark. You have to have knowledge surrounding the use case. You have to have knowledge understanding the methodology that's happening around the specific error or the specific issue you see. Why is this window version behaving different like that than that window version? And that kind of information is still not being able to be transported into artificial intelligence language models because they don't work like that. This kind of vast contextual information that people like Sake gained over 30 years of being in that business, you cannot teach an AI. They will get better, but you can't do it. So don't expect the same kind of depth of analysis when you're using AI for network analysis.
Can I hook into that? There's a session, I think it's on Thursday, by John Capobianco, and it's on, he uses AI as a... today. Oh, well, yeah, today maybe. But look that session up, it's about AI. I think he did a session in the States, and it was really interesting, and I used his tool to look at some of the PCAPs that I'm analyzing. And I was amazed by the capability of showing what is going on in the capture, but also what I expected is it's not able to tell you why it's happening. So it's a great tool to enhance your view on a trace file that you can enhance, like, hey, what's happening? Where's my knowledge? What does AI add to that? But it doesn't give you the answer why it's happening, and that's where your skills still come into place. Maybe in the future they will be different. Let's hope not, but who knows?
We kind of hogged the time here with AI, but did anybody have any questions for the developers while they were up on stage? Okay. We will be in the developer den. If you do want to stop by and talk, we encourage you to do that. That's kind of why we're here. But did any other things anybody wanted to talk about? No. All right. On the AI thing, I will say that we seem to be, I don't know if you're familiar with the term uncanny valley, which was kind of coined when CGI was good enough to start drawing people, but it wasn't that good, and so the results were kind of scary. People came up with the term uncanny valley, which, you look at this thing and it's like, that's not a picture of a person. Your brain immediately knows that. And I think we're hitting the same thing with AI. When we get like code submissions and issue reports, we read this text and we think, okay, a person didn't write this. We just know this inherently. And we're kind of at that stage in AI. And I think AI, of course, is going to get better and better and better over time. But we are in this really weird spot, and where we're kind of having to navigate how we react to all this stuff that's coming our way. And sometimes it's a huge volume of stuff that's coming our way. One of the issues we ran into a while back was that somebody generated some issue reports for Wireshark where they thought they found bugs, but actually it was AI generated. They didn't tell us that initially. And we had to spend a lot of time kind of validating whether or not these bugs were real, but they weren't. So, instead of helping the project, they ultimately made like 2 or 3 of the core developers just waste their time kind of trying to triage these non-issues. And that's one of the kind of downsides. Hopefully that will improve over time, but we'll see.
Just if somebody's interested and capable of German, but I can also provide an English translation. There is a guy in Austria, Mario Zechner, who does AI analysis of news sites, and he gets very, very good using AI, identifying articles written in AI. So if you think that you can get an AI to write an article in a way that is not detectable, no, you can always detect it still. It's just how they work. It's not something that they watermark or anything, it's just how they work. And yeah, it's basically, if you submit a bug report that is only wrote by AI, you're wasting our time. And that time could be helped with issues that really annoy you greatly. And we will happy to take a look, but please at least mark it so that we know, okay, if you can't figure out the bug after a day, it might be a very special one.
Right. Well, thanks for listening to us complain about AI.